Missoula. My name is Noelle McAvoy.
And I'm Scott Ramp.
And it is Monday. We hope that you had a great 4th of July weekend.
It was a great 4th of July weekend.
Yeah. What did you do, Scott?
I watched the soccer game. If you guys haven't already heard that the U.S. women's soccer team is the FIFA World Cup winner.
They host
this every 3 years.
Yeah.
And the last team that won was Japan, and it was a rivalry match.
Oh, was it?
It was very intense. Although you know, like the U.S. scored 3 points in the first 15 minutes, and then it was
just all uphill.
Just holding against Japan for the rest of the time.
Cool.
And it cooled down yesterday, which I thought was pretty awesome as well.
It was very awesome.
So
nice
and today and tomorrow it's supposed to be fairly cool with it not even touching 90. It's going to be in the high 80s, so you can expect it to be a high is 82 today with a low of 55. So this morning it felt nice and chilly when I was walking here. Currently it is 54 degrees outside, so it is a bit chilly, just a little bit of sweater. You might want to take that off as soon as it hits 10:30. But you can expect some thunderstorms later this week, Wednesday. But of course, there's only slight chance of thunderstorms in maybe isolated areas for sure. But that's about it for weather. Yeah. I have a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I do want to. We have we do have a new programming tonight, and that's the Southwest Asia Conference. That's gonna be on tonight, but I don't have a clip to show you, so you guys can check that out online. We'll try to get it up to you on video on demand, or you can watch it on channel 189. It's usually on at 7:30 p.m. on MCAT channel 189. Charter cable, all that wonderful jazz. But of course, the big news right now is that you can be a city council member, and the deadline is this Sunday. So they're going to determine whether or not they have enough people to hold a primary election. Oh, so interesting. This is what you can look forward to. So the big news for you who are looking to run for city council, a city primary election in Ward 2 and Ward 6 is required because 4 people have filed in the office for Ward 2 and 3 have filed in Ward 3. The primary elections will be held on September 15th, 2015, and of course there's still a chance to sign up for all the other primaries in every other ward. So I'm going to talk about whose seats up in every single ward. So every single ward, like half of the city council has a maybe replaced. Oh, wow. Okay. So, and the city council, we have a very council structure here in Missoula. The mayor's power usually lies along of tiebreakers and stuff, but we are a very council-driven city. So Jason Weiner, his seat's up, and if you are in Ward 1, which is in the Rattlesnake North Side, downtown, heart of Missoula area, Adam Hertz in Ward 2, his seat is up as well. He's a little west of Northside, but he's in the hospital, you know, the New Pav areas. You know, that up Broadway, general stuff like that. West Broadway. It's very dispersed. I looked at the map and it's like, wow, this is kind of like all over the place up on the northwestern Missoula area. Alex Taft, the University District, and Uptown Missoula. And then Ward 4, of course, Caitlin Koppel, as you know, left, and Patrick Weaselhead is the interim ward member. So he's going to be running again, and he's been running against the same guy he ran against. It was a tight race. I remember they voted on it 5 times before they actually settled on Patrick Weaselhead. It was close. That must be really hard to have to run again because he didn't really run. It was up to the city council to replace him. And the city of Missoula, the people get to vote. So now he's running and people get to vote. Okay, that's cool. Yep. So, and then of course Mike O'Haron's spot in Ward 5. He's the Linda Vista, South Hills, Lower and Upper Miller Creek areas. Nice. And then, of course, Ward 6 is Ed Childers, and he's like the true west of Russell Street and east of Reserve between the River and South Avenue area. Just generally that one chunk that's in the middle of everything. Yeah, over by like the good food store and stuff? Yeah, nice. So, and of course, the 2 big ones that we're looking at is in Ward 2 against Adam Hertz. And I think that 4 people, there's Anita Green, Harlan Wells, Jack Rowan, and Aylin Inman. Yeah, Aylin. And these are all people. You can all look all of this up at ci.missoula.mt.us. I have that memorized. And of course, Ward 6, we have 3 people. There's Michelle Cares,
Okay.
Rick Brown, and Michael Ellsworth.
Cool.
They're running against, they're running for Ed Shoulders.
Nice.
And Ed Shoulders has been in part of the city council for a long time. He's one of the longest.
OGs, city council OGs, yeah.
And of course, Patrick Weasel had his spot as another big thing as well, but he'll be running against John Dabari. If you don't remember who John Dabari is, he and Patrick Weasel had quite a fight of their own.
Scandalous. Well, we will see how this unfolds. I know.
Yeah, the election will be held September 15th, and if you still want to apply to become a council member, they meet every Monday of the month except for fifth Mondays and holidays, and then they have committee meetings the following Wednesdays. Usually it's the Wednesdays that follow after a city council meeting.
Okay, yeah.
And last week we had no city council. So I'm talking about what's going to happen at city council. And one of the big things that are happening with city council is that sidewalks are so hot right now.
Sidewalks are a hot topic.
It's a hot topic. And of course, South 5th Street from Range to Ivy, they're going to do sidewalk improvement. And of course, Rattlesnake Drive. So from Brookside to Creek Crossing. So that's it with sidewalks. And of course, the growth policy is looking to expand the city by annexing areas that are located south of Interstate 90 and east of Grant Creek Road. The property is legally described as Northwest Quarter Section 8.
Okay.
Okay, so on November 4th, 2009, the city repealed Title 19 Missoula's City Zoning Code, City Zoning Ordinance, and adopted Title 20. This revised update city ordinance is intended to make ordinance easier to read and interpret. It is also included in the mandate to maintain and update the ordinance on a regular basis. This is for future developers for new guidance such as putting in solar panels and that kind of stuff in certain buildings, and ADU requirements, and clarifying all sorts of wonderful building codes. And then finally, they're going to adopt a resolution of intention to modify boundaries of the North Reserve Scott Street Urban Renewal District to include blighted area in need for redevelopment and rehabilitation.
Oh,
so
good.
North side.
North side.
But it's mostly up in the reserve section of it, so that's it's kind of like it's like the pocket. It's like between Reserve Street and the cemetery. That general kind of area.
Yeah, that needs some updating.
Well, I mean, like when you go past there, it's like you don't really see much stuff happening there. That's basically Brett's RV and general area of that.
Yeah.
So that's what they're going to be talking about tonight, and
yeah, it needs an update.
And they're calling for a public hearing.
Cool.
There's nothing going to be officially done, but
so go to what time does city council start tonight?
City council starts at 7 p.m. tonight.
Awesome. So you guys, 7 p.m. if you want to give them your opinions or any input.
Yep. And I'll have the full report to you guys by Wednesday, hopefully, if those kids don't kill me, because it is summer camps.
Yeah, we've got our stop motion animation summer camp this week and next week, and I'm very excited.
I'm very excited too. And we do have a little tease about summer camp and what the kids have made.
Last year.
So we have, the first one is made with Play-Doh, and the second one I'm going to show you is made with a whiteboard with drawings and erase. Stop
motion animation is very tedious, and it takes a long time to only put out like 5 seconds, 6 seconds.
So we're going to hopefully have a lot of videos made. We have 12 kids, and we're going to see how this works. And we have a bunch of returning kids as well. So they'll know the rules, and they're just get started and doing it.
Just going to hit out the ground running, right? Is that how it is?
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay.
So
without
here
further ado.
is summer camp teases, summer camp keeses.
Yeah, summer camp keeses.
All right, here it is.
Oops, I spilled it. Oh, I'm dead now. I just called the government. Chew on this.
That was so sad.
Yeah, those are so fun. And so as you can see, it's writing and erasing and taking pictures, and it's very tedious, like I said earlier, but it's a lot of fun. I think it's my favorite camp.
Yes, it's definitely my favorite camp.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're interested in learning more about Wake Up Missoula and appearing on our show for talking about an event or concert or a lecture that's coming up, a rally. A rally is always nice because we meet passionate people. And you can log on to our website, wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. You can go to our little contact us insignia. You can see current videos, past videos, all sorts of wonderful stuff on our website. But of course, we post everything on our Facebook page, from our last episodes to funny little shenanigans that I find on the internet because I have no life. And you can also follow us on Twitter by
logging on to Twitter. You can also like Missoula Community Access Television on Twitter, as well as MCAT on Facebook. And if you want to find out more information about MCAT, you can go to mcat.org, where you can find out everything that you want to know.
And we have a lot of great high-profile videos on there as well. We have the Big Sky Parade. And, of course, if you're interested in John Krakauer, we also have John Krakauer. Of course, we're always going to talk about him forever.
Of course, always.
He wrote a book called Missoula, Rape in the Justice System. And, of course, his panel in Missoula is online where you can watch it, which is it's a great panel. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
and it's
very interesting.
No holds barred. And
check it out if you missed it when it first came around. Yeah.
But of course, I do have a video story I want to show you guys later, so I'll let Noelle talk about some events.
Got some stuff going on.
So she'll talk about the whole entire events that are happening in Missoula, and then we'll get to Asaph. How does that sound?
Okay, so everything is perfect. Yeah. So I'm just going to go through today and tomorrow events, and then we'll switch gears and go over to Asaph. So, starting this morning, this afternoon, start with early afternoon. At noon, starting from noon to 8, at Montgomery Distillery is their Moscow Monday. It's where they redistribute the wealth. So $1 from each cocktail sold, it goes to a nonprofit from around the area. The Bridge Group is going on at the Missoula Senior Center at the same time, starting at 1. And so Mondays is the Beginner's Brush Up Group, and it's a $1.25 fee is charged to cover expenses. The Missoula Public Library has got their Makerspace Electronics Exploration. They have lots of really cool different robotics things in their computer lab. And so they have Arduino, Raspberry Pi, snap circuits, little bits, and more. And so you can go and learn what those are and find out how you use them and what you can do with them. It's from 3 to 5 in the Makerspace at the Missoula Public Library. The Lifelong Learning Center, they've got a Burn and Firm Pilates. So starting at 4:30, you can burn fat, tone, and lengthen muscles faster and more efficiently by combining fluid, large muscles, low-impact Pilates-inspired moves with resistance. Yeah, that sounds great. So the only thing required is a yoga mat. That is at the Lifelong Learning Center at 4:30 today. Raising the Dead is at the Top Hat Lounge. As I spoke about on Friday, the Grateful Dead has just finished their last weekend of shows. Over the past 50 years, they've been performing. Even when Jerry Garcia died in '95, they've still been performing. And so from 5 to 7 at the Top Hat Lounge, they will be showing live Dead shows from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, so 40 years.
So I went to the live recording of the live last show they did at the Top Hat. They put down the giant projector screen, projected the show, and I saw a guy inside the Top Hat who looked exactly like Jerry Garcia.
Oh.
And it was this huge, huge guy with big bushy beard, white hair, and with a tie-dye shirt. He was wearing a huge tie-dye shirt.
That's cool.
And I was like, that's Jerry Garcia.
Jerry!
Or at least the actor who played him in Half-Baked.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah, how was that?
It was good. I was only there for a little bit. I was there I guess I can say happy birthday to Sam because it was Sam's birthday on July 3rd. Yeah. We hung out, and that's it.
Cool. Sounds nice, yeah.
It was a nice little hangout for his birthday, and then I left, and then July 4th happened,
and then here we are.
Yeah.
Sounds good, yeah. Well, there is a Afro-Caribbean dance class at the Bar and Movement Studio, 2926 South 3rd Street West. And so this is the dance of Haiti, Cuba, and Brazil with live accompaniment taught by Janine Christopherson. Yeah, she's got a BFA in drama dance. So, sounds pretty fun. Starts at 5:30. Plonk has got their service industry night. That is where they have exclusive deals for people that work in the service industry. So you can ask for a special menu, and they have like money off of drinks and appetizers. Yeah. Scrabble is going on at the Missoula Public Library starting at 6. This is 6 to 8. You can bring your own game boards or hop onto someone else's game. Yeah, and you can, get everything available for you. And then over at Burns Street Center, it's in the Burns Street Bistro area over on the west side, north side. They have an introduction to Why Native Wildflowers. And so this is presented by Tim Lewis of Wild Ones Natural Landscapers. And the presentation will explain the history of our ecosystems, how we got to where we are today, and why native plants are vital to the environment. And they'll also be talking about the benefits and fallacies of natural landscaping. Yeah, so that starts at 7 p.m. this evening. And then my last event for Monday is ULA is going to be at the Lifelong Learning Center starting at 7. This is a motivating hour of high energy exercise to top 40 music. Yeah, so all the hits, people just dance and get all crazy.
So what event on Monday do you think really stands out to you?
I would go to that wildflowers one.
Really?
Yeah, I think that would be really cool.
Let me save you a trip.
Yeah.
Well, we used to have a lot of wildflowers back in the day, and then a bunch of settlers came here and brought their weeds, and basically the weeds choke out a lot of the native, and it was an invasive species, and it killed a lot of the native plants. The end. Yeah, I just ruined it for you, Noelle.
Well, then I'm just gonna go to Burn and Fern Pilates. You can't ruin that for me. Just kidding, I have to work all day. Yeah, okay, and then before we go over to Asaph, I'm going to talk about Tuesday events. So this is tomorrow. So tomorrow at 9 a.m. there's a flamenco guitar class with Ricardo Diaz. He is, so if you have any interest in flamenco, you can learn from Ricardo and ask all the questions that you want to about flamenco guitar. And so it's $20 for the class at the Rocky Mountain Ballet Theater tomorrow morning. Yeah. There is an artist from Bozeman who does paintings and sculptures. She has got her very first art exhibit at the Missoula Art Museum. And I'm going to read you guys like her artist synopsis. It says, her paintings and sculptures never spell everything out, leaving enough unsaid that there always remains a mystery for us to fill in. This is the magic in her works, the mystery offered by content served up in dark compositions with content that remains unsaid. So here's a picture of some of the artwork that she does. It's pretty cool. And so yeah, you got this neat little photo. So this is their very first exhibit at the Missoula Art Museum. And I think it's just, her show is just going to be put up. It's going to be in the Morris and Helen Silver Gallery. And then, so you can have a coffee with her on the 18th at 11 a.m. And then she's also going to be doing a drawing the figure class on the 18th from 1 to 3:30. But when that gets closer, I'll talk about it.
Well, that's good to be able to go to the farmer's market and then go to the art museum, have a little bit of coffee with the artist.
Yeah, it'd be pretty fun. Yeah, so her exhibit is up in the Missoula Art Museum starting today, and it will be up there through September, I do believe. Oh no, through October. Yeah, so quite a while. And then Missoula Public Library is joining forces with the Missoula Food Bank. And they are bringing healthy lunches to all the kids of Missoula. So free lunches are served at the Missoula Public Library from noon to 1 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday all summer long. They're going to be served in the lower level conference room, and under child 18 or under. Any child 18 or under is able to go in there and get a free lunch. Yeah, that's awesome. And then the Lifelong Learning Center has got Bear Fitness. Bear Fitness is a workout that focuses on body alignment and core stability using controlled movements to give you a total body workout.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's at the Lifelong Learning Center starting at noon tomorrow. The Missoula Public Library's got a kids summer activity program starting at 2 p.m. tomorrow. And it's for school-age children. They have to have completed kindergarten, so kindergarten and older. Yeah, it's a little activity. And then DraftWorks has got a Cheers for Charity for Sunday Streets. Sunday Streets is coming, I do believe, next Sunday. And it's where they close down a part of Higgins, and they've got all these fun family activities to do, and ice cream and vendors, and yeah, lots of fun things. Yeah, so the charity event for that is going to be at DraftWorks tomorrow starting at 4. And then, now it is July, so the Missoula Farmers Market is started on Tuesday evenings. So tomorrow at the Red X's, the market will be happening from 5:30 to 7, and that will be going on through September 22nd. So if you're not able to get there on a Saturday, you can definitely get there on a Tuesday evening. That's awesome. Yeah. And then there will be, the performers will just be on Saturdays, not Tuesday evenings.
Of course, some performers might just go there on Tuesday.
Yeah, just to do
for
it.
a little extra ka-ching.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then, like I spoke about last week, there was the Tell Us Something camp at the Zootown Arts Community Center. And so tomorrow night is the workshop cumulative, I can never say that word, is a workshop event where these kids actually tell their stories. So at the Top Hat Lounge at 6 p.m. is all the kids that were in the camp telling their true stories. Yeah, so go check it out if that sounds interesting to you. It'll be pretty funny, I would think. Pretty interesting. Yeah. So it's an open discussion. And then there's Writers Anonymous tomorrow at the Missoula Public Library starting at 6 p.m. This is where you can receive constructive criticism on your writing and provide feedback for others in a supportive environment. It'll be 6 to 8 in the boardroom at the public library. There is an African dance class with Tarn Ream and live musicians. This meets every Tuesday at the Missoula Senior Center. It's $10 to drop in, $35 for 4 classes, and it's an ongoing class so you can join anytime. And there's Buddhist Teachings with Don Handrick. This is going to be located at 441 Woodworth Avenue in Missoula. They're going to focus on the concept that shutting out the unspiritual parts of one's life and just focusing on which has the appearance of being spiritual can limit the ability to practice the Buddhist teachings, and how, with greater awareness of wisdom and compassion, we can live each moment of our lives completely and joyfully. Yeah, so that's at 441 Woodworth Avenue tomorrow at 7. And then my last event for today and tomorrow is National Theater Live. This is Skylight. This will be at the Roxy Theater starting at 7:30. It's about a woman, school teacher, who receives an unexpected visit from her former lover, who is a successful and charismatic restaurateur whose wife has recently died. And so as the evening progresses, the two attempt to rekindle their once passionate relationship, only to find themselves locked in a dangerous battle of opposing ideologies and mutual desires.
I think that's bull mark.
Yeah. It'll be good either way. But yeah, that's what's going on for today and tomorrow. If you guys want to find out more information about this, you can always go to MissoulaEvents.net. And then you can check out the Independent, the newspaper, and the university website always has their events on there too. And although it's summer, they're still doing things. Yeah, so we're going to switch gears now and head over to Asaph.
Let's start out with that clip first of all.
Which clip?
The first one.
Which is the first one?
The Gilligan's Island clip.
All right, here it is.
In tropical sea is a tropic port. Vacation fun is the favorite sport. This is the place where the tourists flock, renting the boats at the busy dock. 2 secretaries from USA sail on the Mino this lovely day. A high school teacher is next aboard, all taking trips that they cannot afford. The next 2 people are millionaires. They got no worries, they got no cares. They climb aboard and they step inside with just enough bags for a 6-hour ride. Tourists come, tourists go, tourists touring.
Amazing how young they were back
These
then.
5 nice tourists, they take this trip, relaxing on deck on this little ship. The weather
Okay,
is
what
clear
people
and
don't realize, and the reason I'm starting this with this Gilligan's Island, this was the original Gilligan's Island theme song before it was changed to what we know it today.
Mm-hmm.
This theme song was written in 1964. The same scene like the theme that we know, but this was a calypso version. Anyway, the reason I'm bringing that up is because somebody had to write those theme songs to all these old television shows and movies. And so we're talking about John Towner Williams, known to the world as John Williams. John Williams is an American composer, conductor, pianist. He has a career spanning 6 decades. Williams has composed some of the most popular recognizable themes in cinematic history. For example, the 2 Jaws films, E.T. the Terrestrial, Indiana Jones series, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Superman with Christopher Reeves, The Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin, Hook with Dustin Hoffman, Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Saving Private Ryan, and Catch Me If You Can, to name a few. And of course, his notable works for television include the Olympic Games, NBC Sunday Night Football, the Nightly News with Brian Williams, the theme song to that, Lost in Space with Billy Mooney and June Lockhart, Land of the Giants, and of course this Calypso version of Gilligan's Island. And finally, Williams has won 5 Academy Awards, 4 Golden Globe Awards, 7 British Academy Film Awards, 22 Grammy Awards, 49 nominations, Academy Award nominations, and he is second to Walt Disney in all-time compositions, and he's also been honored with the Richard Kirk Award in 1999, the BMI Film and TV Awards. So that's quite an accomplishment. And now we're going to catch Williams in action here because he was also the conductor for the Boston Pops from 1980 to 1993. Here's a clip. So you can see this is a man that's accomplished quite a bit in his life, and of course we're looking at Wynton Marsalis and the Boston Pops under the direction of John Williams. So he's done just everything from conducting symphonies to writing film and television and so on. Just pretty amazing guy. And you know, Scott, you may can relate to this being a trombone player. You know, these tricky songs like this Carnival of Venice here. You had to practice an awful lot to get that good, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyway, that's just a neat little tribute that John Williams left the world, so wanted to share that with everyone.
Awesome. Thanks, Asaph.
Sure.
Cool. Well, now we're switching gears, and we are going to, if you guys remember, on Wednesday, we had Justice Ender here.
Yes.
And he was talking about the ADA bus tour that happened over the weekend, and Scott got to go to that, actually.
And I got bored on Sunday, decided to edit a short little piece.
Yeah.
Because I did the interviews, and I was like, this is very important, and I think this would be a great piece to share on our morning show, Wake Up Missoula. So I edited it, and I did it, and this is the ADA Legacy Tour, which is Americans with Disabilities Act that was signed in 1990 by George Herman Walker Bush to give equal rights to people with disabilities. Mm-hmm. And the thought of actually having curbside sidewalks was non-existent until 1970s.
Oh wow! Wow. Okay.
And here is a little piece I made. And here it is.
All right.
Yep.
We'll do this. We'll do this for you. Anytime a sidewalk breaks and we have to replace it, we'll go ahead and put a curb cut in for you then. So just wait. We'll get to it. So and they did. They patronized the patronizers. They said, all right, fine. We'll wait patiently. And then what they did is they went home and they organized. And they said, no, we're not waiting. Sidewalks are made of concrete. This is going to take forever. I have a date next week. I need to go from this house to this movie theater and back. And they mapped it out. And they said, all right, let's recruit the entire community, people with disabilities, people without disabilities, people with visible disabilities, people with invisible disabilities. And they dressed in black. And they put that stuff under their eyes, not because they had to, but it looks cool. And they took axes, pitchforks, hammers, whatever they could find that would break concrete, and they went out when no one was looking, and they broke the sidewalks that they need access to. So when the city of Berkeley woke up the next day, they said, oh my gosh, we gotta put in curb cuts. And that is how, that is the militant, we're not gonna wait anymore attitude that makes me very proud to be a part of this community.
25 years ago, a group of Americans shed their wheelchairs and climbed up the U.S. Capitol building Today, those who have benefited from the Capitol Crawl appeared in downtown Missoula for the ADA Legacy Bus Tour to talk about their past struggles and the distance they must go to achieve equality. Jason Glozier still thinks there's a lot of work to be done.
But one of the stories I always tell when I do trainings is about this girl, Catherine, that I knew. She was in my high school and she graduated with my class. However, when I graduated at age 18, she was graduating special education at age 21. Catherine lived in a small town. She didn't have access to resources and to those things that provided her with the equity that she should deserve. And she ended up staying in that town, relying on public transportation and specialized transportation to get to and from the sheltered workshop. Now I contrast that with my brother who went to college and is looking for a job and is living the life of any other 20-year-old, and I see a very different dynamic. The travesty of that whole situation is that Catherine's only disability was the fact that she was blind, and she grew up in a rural area and didn't have access to resources or education.
According to the U.S. Department of Labor, the average unemployment rate for people with disabilities is almost double that of those without, a statistic that is much lower than it used to be.
When I went to try to get jobs, I noticed that I wasn't getting interviews for jobs that I was well qualified for, and I knew other people that were getting interviews for the same job. It didn't take me too long to realize that when you fill out a form, an application, and it has a little checkbox that said, are you a person with a disability? If you check that off, you ain't gonna get an interview.
For John Nosey, losing his leg labeled him disabled, which killed many opportunities for him getting any kind of work. Americans with Disabilities Act allowed people in Nosey's position to get back their independence. As for Bob Liston, he was rendered disabled in a car accident in 1971. From there, he got involved with ADAPT, which is a disabilities activist group that fought to improve accessibility for those who have trouble getting into their homes and other places.
A lot of people are celebrating other people's rights, and for some reason, people with disabilities tend to be forgotten. We don't get the same focus. We don't have the same power, and so we need to keep fighting. And one of the ways that we have to fight is through civil disobedience, and that's going to continue on until we get the same rights that everybody else does.
I guess in perfect rural world, or kind of the utopian idea, is that we wouldn't even be talking about this because people with disabilities wouldn't be even thought of as any different than anyone else, which really they aren't, but that misconception exists. And so, you know, if we were all to just be more accepting of one another and, you know, not even recognize the difference, that'd be fantastic.
Many participants and organizations gathered to show their support for the ADA. Jude Munson from Summit Independent Living Center talked about how Montana got involved when Justin Dart, known as the godfather of ADA, came to Montana.
Everybody came together and said, this is what we need and how are we going to get it done, and we're going to do it with the legislators, we're going to do it within the law, we're going to do it in the most strongest advocacy way we can. So when Justin Dart came to Montana, he came to Great Falls, and Mike Nair, our summit director, and myself drove up there, and Justin Dart was one of those guys who just, you know, he had this big old honking cowboy hat, and he sat in his chair and he said, give me your stories, I need stories, and please write those stories, and please pass this on. So once we finally got the law, it was a huge celebration in 1990, and ever since then we spent all of our time continuing to educate people about employment and access and just some of the basic kinds of things that people need to know, whether it's anything that's public access or program access.
The ADA Legacy Bus will complete its cross-country tour on July 26th in Washington, D.C. For tour dates and more information, log on to adalegacy.com. In Missoula, I'm Scott Ramph. All right.
That was awesome, Scott. That was really good, yeah. I know, that was really good. Nice.
Yes, so you can see that online on our YouTube MCAT, Missoula Community Access Television channel, to rewatch that and more. We'll have the whole video and the whole experience from the ADA Legacy Bus Tour when it was in Caras Park, and Missoula's hosted it every 5 years.
Nice. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, that's great, Scott. Good job.
All right, so I'd like to end the show.
I think so.
I think it's a good time to end the show. If you want more information, you can log on to wakeupmissoula.wix.com/wakeupmissoula. We are Twitter, Facebook. Also look MCAT on Facebook, Twitter, and all that wonderful things.
We're everywhere. You type in Wake Up Missoula in Google and you will find us.
But of course, if you're wanting to get involved, you can email us mcat@mcat.org for Wake Up Missoula. I'm Scott Ram.
And I'm Noelle McFoy. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you Wednesday, and here is Asaph.